Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we will be looking at the bearish harmonic BAT pattern. Okay, so that's the topic of today's lesson. Oops. Sorry about that. So today's lesson, we're looking at the bearish harmonic BAT patterns. So this is what we're looking at today. So yesterday we looked at the opposite, the bullish harmonic pattern, which is the M pattern. So this is what we spoke about yesterday. We would have it. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's we spoke about it yesterday. So today's video will be the opposite, which is the W pattern. Okay. So obviously, if you go on your chart, you see so many W's because there are so many harmonic patterns. All right. So today's one, we'll take a look at the BAT pattern. Okay. So I'll show you how we get the measurement and how what I need to look for before I take my trades. Okay. So first of all, what you need is your fib retracement. So fib retracement is right here, that one there. So once you get that, you need to get your measurements right first. So once you drop that on a blank chart, double click on it, and then what we need is 0.382, 0.5, 618, 786, and 0.886. So these are the 5 numbers that you need. Okay, for all your harmonic retracements. Okay, so once you've grabbed that and you've sorted out your numbers, then you need to look for an impulsive leg to the downside, followed by retracement, and then another retracement to the downside, and then a push up. So an M and W formations. So for the bearish, which we're talking about today, you're looking for the W pattern on your chart. Okay, obviously it won't look like this. You know, it look, you know how the market moves. So it moves in impulsive correction moves. So zigzag moves. So you're looking for something that looks like a W. Okay, so once you've spotted that, actually, do you know what? Let me make it easier for us to follow. So that will be my X leg, and this will be my A. So the impulsive move is your X to A. Sorry, my mouse is playing up. Yeah, so impulsive leg is your X to A, and then the retracement is your B. So retracement to the upside is your B, and then another retracement to the downside is your C, and then the impulsive move to the upside is our D leg, like so. Okay, so this is our this is how we measure it. Okay, so now your next step is to take your fib retracement and measure from X to A. So this first retracement to the upside must touch 0.382. So our B leg must touch the 0.382. Also, 0.5 is also a valid BAT pattern. So between 0.382 to 0.5 is a BAT pattern. It can go beyond 0.5 plus 3%, but must not touch the 0.618, which is a third fib number. Okay. Now this pullback to this our C leg must not exceed our A leg. Okay, it must not go beyond our A leg. Okay, so this pullback to the downside must not go below our A leg. So if it is that, if the retracement is that small, what we need to do is we need to go back and grab our fib retracement tool and measure from A to B. So this retracement back must touch 0.382. If it did not touch 0.382, then it's not a valid, but if it's not a valid harmonic pattern. So this pullback here must at least touch our 0.382 right here, which is the first one. If it doesn't touch, then it is not a valid harmonic pattern. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's carry on. So for me to identify a BAT pattern, once this C to D leg crosses our B leg, so once I see a break above the B leg, then I know that I'm looking for a sell position at 886. So let me show you what I mean. So if I plot a fib from the C to A, so right here 886 is where I am looking to take my sell position. Okay, this is where I'm looking to take my sell position, as long as all the measurement matches. Does that make sense? So this is not all we measure. We need to also take our fib extension, that one here, to measure A to B leg and B to C leg. So we need three numbers we need this C to D leg to touch three numbers before we can take our sell position. So the first number that we need to watch for a touch is 0.886. So 0.886 is the first number that we need to see the D leg touch. Okay, and then the other leg that we need is our AB equals to CD leg. So AB equal to CD leg is the second one. And then the third one is our BC leg. Okay, so I will show you what I mean. So these are the three numbers that we need before we can take our trade. So now we go to the extension, fib extension. We measure our A to B, then back to A. So we are looking for minimum 1.27. Okay, so for BAT pattern, we need a minimum 1.27 to 1.168. Okay, so for this training, I'll just go with 1.618 right here. Okay, if you take a close look, you see how the 1.618 is very close to 0.886, which is our D leg. Okay, and then to get your C to D leg, which is the BC leg, you measure from C to B down to C. Okay, like this. C to B down to C. And in this leg, what you're looking for is between 1.618 to 2.618. So we were looking for 1.618, 2.0, 2.24, 2.40, and 2.618. Okay, so those are the numbers we're looking for. So the closest number that matches, that is closer to 0.886, that is the number that we take. All right, I hope that makes sense. So these are the three numbers that we need this C to D leg to touch before we take a trade. Okay, so let's jump on our chart to take a look at a trade that has already happened. Okay, so you can see there are loads of there are loads of W patterns right here. Yeah, there are so many of them here. But what we're looking for is a BAT pattern. Okay, so the more experienced you become, the easier it will be for you to spot them when you see them. Okay, so it will take you some time and practice to spot the M and W's pattern. Okay, so you can see this is our W pattern. As you can see, this came down, impulsive move down. We had this retracement, and then we had another retracement, and then we had a push up. Okay, so let's measure it. So I'll go for my fib retracement. So from the beginning of the impulsive leg down to where it stopped before we have this push back up. So it's right here. So as you can see, the push up touched the 0.382 before it came down, and then we had this move up to the upside. Yeah, as you can see. So now what you need to do, so once you've done this measurement, so for me, like I said, I trade the BAT pattern with supply and demand. Yeah, so that's how I trade my BAT patterns. I trade them with supply and demand. Okay, so this is our X. So here, right here is our X, and then we had our A here, and then we had our B here, we had our C there, and then we had our 886, our D leg here. Okay, so can you see that? So once we've identified where the 886 is at, I'll just give this horizontal line there, and then we don't need this anymore, so I'll just delete this. Okay, so this is the first step. Remember, I said to you, once I see our B leg, once I see a break of our D leg, so our B leg, so from here, this is when I'll start looking to take a short trade from the 886, which is the D leg. Okay, so that's our first measurement. So the second measurement, we'll grab the fib extension. So we measure from A to B down to A. So we are looking for minimum 1.618, which is there. So basically, AB equals to CD is, what that means is basically this move here, move our A to B. So that move here is equal to C to D leg. Yeah. So with the BAT pattern, we have our B to C leg can be extended. Okay. So that can be extended. So that is our so this is our AB equals to CD leg. So our BC leg is, you take measure from the C down to B back to C. So remember I said we need to look for a number closest to 886, which is our D leg, and it's between 1.618 to 2.618. Now that one right there. So as you can see, the 2.618, which is the highest number, is the number closest to our 886, which is our D leg right there. Okay, so let's plot that. So that's our X to A to B to C and then to D. So remember I told you in our previous video that I trade supply and demand. I trade harmonic patterns with supply and demand. So as you can see, this is a rally, base, and a drop. So this right here is my supply zone. Okay, so this gives me more confluence to take the trade. Yeah, so this is our BAT pattern, and this is our sell. This is where we look for our sell entry, and as you can see, it dropped down. Yeah, so for profit taking, all you need to do is grab the fib retracement, and then you plot from A to D, and then there are um, two profit taking zones. One is at 382, which is that one, and the second is at 0.618, which is right there. So let me take the fib out. So as you can see, your two profits were all hit without any difficulties, and the stop loss goes above your X. All right. So this is the first one. So let's see if we can grab if we can see another one. Let's take a look together and see if we can see another one quickly. So the more you do this, the more you get experience, and it becomes very easier for you to see. So I can see a W pattern right here. So this is an impulsive leg to the downside. So if I plot my fib retracement from the beginning of the impulsive move to the downside to where it ended before a retracement, then you can see that it put back to 0.5, which is my second fib here, and then we had this push back down. Remember, I said to you, if you're not sure if the pullback is too short or too small for you, you can always grab a fib and measure from your A to your B, and you can see it must touch 0.382, which it did. Okay, so that is a valid C leg. Okay, so I just measure it. So here we have our X, we have our A, we have our B, we have our C, and then we need to look for 886, which is right this one, for our D leg. Exactly. Okay, so what we have is this. So we have X to A to B to C and to D. Okay, so I said to you, once we break our B leg, this is when I start looking for my D. So this is how I identify a BAT pattern. Okay, so once we break and the pullback does not go beyond our A, then I know we are going to hit the 886. Okay, so I'm not going to take a trade once we break here. I'm not going to take a trade because it might come back and break, go below the A. So I just be patient and wait and see what happens here. Okay, so this is our first measurement. So the second measurement we take is we grab our fib extension. We need to measure our A to B leg. Yeah, minimum is 1.27. And we're looking at maximum 1.618. So between 1.27, 1.414, and 1.618. So these are the numbers we're looking for. Okay. So I'll go for 1.618, which is the fib number that I so much trust. So I'm not wearing my glasses, so oops, what happened there? Right, so I'll do that again. So A to B, back to A. So we are looking for our 1.618. the minimum is 1.272. So as you can see, 1.618 is very close to the D leg, to 886 right there. So the second measurement is our B to C leg. Okay, so I'll go from C to B, back to C. Okay, so this number is between 1.618 to 2.618. All right, so the closest number that is close to the D leg is the one that you need. So for me, it's 2.0. Okay, so once you got all these three numbers, so your A to B, your B to C, and your 886, once this C to D leg touches all those numbers, that's when you look for your bearish signal to take the trade. For me, like I said, I take my trades, I take my harmonic trades with supply and demand. So as you can see, this is a demand zone right here. Sorry, a supply zone. So you saw this rally, we had a little base, and then we dropped this big drop down. Yeah, so I know this is supply zone, and I know this is where I need to take my trades. Okay, so we measure from our A to D to look for your profit potentials, where to take your profits. So for me, like I said on my yesterday video, I like to take my profit at 0.382 before I move my stop to break even, or wait for retracement before I take another short trade. So once I hit the 382, I take my profits and then move my stop to break even, or take partial profits and then wait for a pullback to take another trade. So if you take a close look, this move down hit our first TP, which is at 0.382. Okay, and then it's pulled back and then dropped again. Okay, and the second dropping did not actually hit our second profit, which is at 0.618, before it moved back up. And then if you had placed your stop loss, which is above the X, this would have taken you out. Yeah, so if you have taken you the first profit, and then move your stop to break even, you would have been fine. Yeah, you would have gotten something from the market anyways. So this is how we identify our W patterns. I hope this helps. Any questions, drop your comments below and I would respond. If this is confusing, please watch the other video. It's the same thing, just upside down. Okay. Any questions, let me know, and I'll try my best to explain again. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you so much. Bye now.